Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at Active Foam by Koch Chemie. So I've been wanting to try this Active Foam for a very long time. Previously in the UK it was only available in a bulk offerings such as I think it was 5 litres, and then I think a couple of years, maybe I think a year or so ago, I noticed that they've been giving a litre offering. So I've been really excited to get this and I thought I'd finally get it. Let's give it a try and see how it gets on. So unofficially, to get Active Foam you had to mix Green Star with GSF, and it was said that you would get Active Foam, but I thought I'd get Active Foam, the actual thing, and let's see how this works. So this costs £12.95 for a litre, and that's not too bad for a litre compared to other snow foams. Usually they're about £18-19. I've seen some snow foams for around the 80 mark for just 500 millilitres. So for this, for a litre at £12.95 is a good price point. Now this comes one of the annoying things that I found about Active Foam. The instructions are too they're not good enough in my opinion. When you're talking about especially recommend dilutions, apply undiluted or diluted up to 1 to 10 with a dosing pump. Now my understanding of a dosing pump is something different, so it's a bit confusing. Then it goes recommendation shampoo 3 to 8 mil, 1 to 3 mil for a hand wash, 1 to 300 because of the dosing pumps. So it's a bit confusing, to be honest. I mean, they've got it right on GSF. It says here add 20 milliliters snow foam into 1 litre and lather, pour using a foam sprayer. Even that's not good, but you know, at least it's a foam sprayer, it's not saying foam cannon, so the instruction could be a bit better. So we're going to use a 1 to 10 dilution. So I'm going to use about we'll do about 500. I usually use about 250, but we'll use 500 and we have a little bit of a play around. So I'm going to use, on a 1 to 10 it'll be 50 milliliters of product and the rest water. So we'll go and do a pH test. So it does say it is pH 9.5. We'll give it a quick test and see what it is. Right, we'll add 50 milliliters into this beaker and then we'll check it out at what is. That smells nice. So we'll pour 50 ml. So a little bit more. Just a little bit. Yeah, that's right. It's bang on. So we'll just get one of these papers, get a rough idea of what pH level it is. So it's showing. Now what do you guys reckon? Which green is that? Is it this one? It looks like an 8 to me. It's hard to tell with these, to be honest. It could be 9, but I'm thinking it's more like 8 or 9. Yeah, 8 or 9 ish. Actually it could be 10. It's getting darker now. That's a bit too dark for green, isn't it? For 10, I'd say it's about a 9, 8, 9. I think more like 8, in between there. It's not very accurate, but still it gives a bit of an idea of what we're dealing with. So I've already gone and put some water in this. I put 450 milliliters of water. We'll add that into there. We'll get outside and see what it's like. Right guys, coming for a walk around, just normal road film and done a bit of mileage on this, so it's not heavy as it was last time when I used power foam by Infinity Wax, but all around the car just a light film of dirt. So let's crack on and get this cleaned and see how it turns out. Well, it would help if I had the right fan setting on. So getting it on, and initially I just think I like this. It's a lot like Infinity Wax and Built Timber, so I like that, getting it all on. So just going to walk around getting it all onto the car, and let's see how it dwells and let's see how it works. So it's got a nice thick consistency which I like, slightly runny, but yeah, so far so good. If I would have to say, I think it's slightly, ever so slightly thicker than Biltamba and Infinity Wax. Not much in it, but just slightly. But on the flip side, I don't think it's as runny as them two. And I'll show you this later on. And like I said to you guys, I'm a visual kind of person. You can see there again straight away it's pulling the dirt down. So this is kind of my indication of how well this snow foam is doing, and it's going ahead and pulling the dirt. I've seen some that they don't, or there's minimal, so I'm liking this so far so good. It's that cold. Need me coffee. Now I don't know if you can tell, but on that back boot lid it just looked like it's just static. It's running down a little bit on the bumper, but it's just flat, it's just kind of sticky. And this is what kind of is a bit off-putting for me, because I like a continuous flowing snow foam. There it kind of is just like it's suspended in time, a bit of a patch there, but other than that it doesn't seem to be moving in my opinion. And now we're coming for a rinse off. This is how it was, and like that, it's got big patches there where on other foams, snow foams that I see, it kind of does its thing, runs off, and that's it, it's done, and kind of taking the dirt away with it. But it has cleaned, but I just like that more runnier consistency. Spraying off, not a problem, it was nice and easy. And if you look around the floor, there's hardly any residue on the floor. I've had snow foams as thick as this, and they'd be just sticking around on the floor, hanging about for a long time. It did well to get rid of the dirt off the wheels. There wasn't a great deal of fallout, but you know, that film of dirt, which it kind of got rid of it there. You can see the wheels are looking nice and clean there. Moving on to the body of the car, you can see just peeling away that top layer of dirt, and moving on to the other side also, it just kind of gets it done. So very happy with that. Can visually see it, you know, in working away. Again on this side, again just you can see the snow foams coming in, cleaning that, and the top layer of dirt, as you can see if you pay close attention, just getting rid of that top layer of dirt away. It's just that little film underneath that it leaves. Right, coming around for a walk around, it was really windy at this point, so I've turned the volume off. There at the bottom, most of all that dirt's gone, and around here where I swiped my finger earlier, just that little film. And most of the cars I think I've done, and when the snow foams I've used, Autofoam or Powerfoam, they leave that film behind. Now I was surprised to see this, it's actually breaking the tar down. If I get a close up here, you can see the tar dissolving, which is quite interesting, because I never really noticed this before. But there is a lot of tar on there. Whether it was to begin with on the car or it hasn't taken it off, that's another thing to consider. Again on the other side there's just tar. Right, it's very windy out here. Let's get back inside. I've gotten a good idea of what's going on here, so let's go inside and discuss on what I think of this. Right guys, we're back inside and we'll go through what I think of this product. So just to begin with, I have got 250 left on, bang on 250, and I did use a bit extra messing around. So to begin with, we'll go through the price and value for money. So this one cost me £12.95 for a litre. So on that basis, if I use 250ml of total solution, I would have used 25ml of product. So that cost per wash works at 32p for a wash for a litre. Now they do the next offering up, which is 10 litres at £66.66. That works out at what was it, 16p if you use 25ml. Now it is buying a bigger bulk compared to a lot of other brands. You'd have a 5 litre option. Now another product that I recently come to like is Powerfoam by Infinity Wax, and I think that's a product that I really like at the moment. I do like Autofoam by Biltamba, but currently I'm leaning a little bit more to Autofoam, so I'll refer it to that one. Now 500 milliliters is about £8.99, £9. So a wash again on the 25ml basis, again for that what I used is 45p per wash. But the advantage is if you buy 5 litres for £37, it comes down to 18p. So you don't have to go and buy 10 litres like Koch and spend £66.66, and you can just spend the 37p, sorry, £37 instead. Now, one of the things that I noticed, what I really liked, was there wasn't much residue on the floor. Even as I'm, foaming it on, there wasn't much coming off, and by the time I rinsed it off, there was minimal residue left on the floor. So if that's something appeals to you, if you're a mobile detailer and that's something you need to consider, that is an advantage. It had a good level of cleaning when I went around and cleaned it. It did get rid of a lot of the dirt. Obviously there was a lot of road film there that it didn't break through, but then again, when I compare it to other snow foams, they haven't done that in winter. When I wipe my finger across, there's still some left over. It seemed that it's very good at breaking down tar. You could see when I was just touching it, you could see the tar was actually loosening up. Now I believe that's from the snow foam, and to be honest, I've never seen that with any of the snow foam. Now, whether it's that I've not paid attention to the new snow foam, I'm just going to rinse it off and it's got rid of it and dissolved it, and it's just left a few behind. But if to me, it felt like it was working and removing and dissolving that tar. So that was very good in my opinion. Now, considering a lot of these things when comparing to other snow foams, it is a pH 9.5, not 12 as others, and it's very cost effective. So touching on that tar aspect, this is something that I've not really noticed before, but I will kind of keep an eye on moving forward. So I can't conclusively say that other brands haven't done it, but I'll keep an eye out. And again, comparing the tar to other brands, I can't say how much tar was left behind or how much tar they had on, because even when looking at this, there was still a lot of tar spot on the car, whether it needed more dwell time. But I did give it a decent, adequate dwell time. When the car, you could see the snow foam, it had done its job. It had kind of done its five or so minutes. Right, so kind of touching on that tar issue, I've not really noticed any other products doing it, so it's something I will kind of bear in mind in future. And also, I could visually see on this one the tar had been breaking down, but there was quite a bit of tar left over. So that being said, it did have its full dwell time on that, so in future I will kind of keep an eye on that. But I can't say conclusively that was there more tar on this vehicle than other times when I've done it. So something that I will keep a visual look on in the future when looking at other cars, how the snow foam does it break down the tar. Now, this issue is most personal to me, how I like a snow foam. It seemed it was more static on the body. Like when it was on the car, it seemed like it just was clinging there and it just kind of stuck there. Some of it was moving around. Now, I like a snow foam where it's quite runny, but a thick consistency, and it kind of just keeps moving. Even when I was seeing it on the floor, there was not much snow foam on the floor. It was kind of more static and clinging onto the car body. When you compare to auto foam and power foam, by Built Timber and Infinity Wax, they're very runny. A thick blanket of snow foam onto the vehicle is very runny, clings, pulls it down. But this one, it kind of seemed like it was holding, like it was a bit grabby. That being said, when rinsing it off, I had no issue that it wasn't sticky or it wouldn't stay on the body, or I had to put more effort into it to remove it off. So that's one thing to me personally that I didn't like about it, and I think that's the thing that's kind of leaning me more towards using auto foam and by Built Timber, and my favorite at the moment, power foam by Infinity Wax, because I like that runny consistency. Now in future when I do use it, I could dial it back a little bit and see if that has an effect, because I did a video a while back and I used citrus wash and gloss by Chemical Guys, and I used it with thick foam. It had to clean it, then I turned it down a bit, and you could actually see, and I sprayed it on again, you could see it taking the dirt off. I'll add a link for that video into the description. It's worthwhile checking it out. So I'll try that in future. Well, I'll dial it back a little bit, see what effect that has, and maybe if it gets more of a runny consistency, it might be more appealing to me. At the moment, I think it's a very good snow foam. For me, as I've mentioned, it's just that little thing that's tipping me a bit over to the side. But for other people out there, they might not want to use a pH 12 all the time, so this could be a good alternative. It's 9.5, a little bit more than neutral, but still has got good clean pass. So we've got to give it that, where it's actually cleaned as well, maybe a little bit here and there where it might not have. In regards to the tar, that's something I'll have to consider. I can't conclusively say it has or it hasn't, because I've not really noticed that in the past, to be honest, and it did leave a film behind as compared to the other ones. So this will be a good option. Only thing for me at the moment is, where if I want to order this from somewhere, either I've got to pay £3-4 in shipping, or I've got to spend £60 or £70, depending on which online retailer you buy it from, and you will have to spend that to get free shipping. Or where with Infinity Wax, I can always go into Halfords and just get 500 ml, but the cost for a wash again for 500 ml is 45p and 18p. But I see this lasting me quite a while, and I think most people, they do have an affinity, or they have that leaning towards a certain brand. They might want, right, I like Koch, this is a product Koch offer, I'll get this. So you've got to consider all of them things when making a decision to buy that. If you've got something at the moment that you like, carry on using that. But this one, very surprised at. And I know they do another one above this, I think it's called Power Foam. That is only available in 5 or 10 litres, and you have to spend like 90 quid. So I don't think I'd ever be getting that. It's a lot of money to spend just to try out. And having 10 litres of a product at 90 odd ish pound again is a lot of investment. And I do spend my own money on all these products, and if you guys do watch all my videos and help me out in that sense, I'll be greatly appreciated. And if you're here for the first time, do give the channel a follow and do give the video a like, because it helps me grow. One other thing that making my decision about this has kind of just tipped it towards another product, because the instructions aren't clear. Other ones that I use, they tell me, right, 1 to 10 in a snow foam cannon, and I know they're not an English speaking brand, they're from Germany. But to be honest, for a brand like Koch, they should really make it clear. It's not that difficult. If you're a big brand like them, I'm sure you can get that checked out and make it more tailored towards not the professionals, but they know a lot of guys at home will be using this, weekend warriors will be using this. So that language needs to be more clear, a bit more idiot proof. At the moment, I'm not 100% sure if I'm using the right dilution ratio. I'm using it 1 to 10 because it says a doser. So what is a doser? So they need to be a bit more clear on that. And on that note, guys, don't think there's anything else to say. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. And if you've tried the other one, is it Power Foam or Super Foam, whichever one it is, let me know how it's worked out for you. I'd like to know how it's been, and if you've got any other suggestions, do drop it in. And I've got, if you can see in the background, I've actually picked up this one by Lambo Cosmetica Primus. I've had a lot of people in the comments suggest this one to me, so that one's the next one I'm gonna have a look at and have a little play with. So on that note, guys, take care, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.